this speech tomorrow, wherever it is, Rob, and whatever time it is, she's coming from a standpoint of weakness, but the fact that she's reaching out to other parties, surely that's what everyone's been crying out for quite a long time.
Well, yes. And I mean, the problem with this speech, in a way, is not so much the message as the timing. This would have been... had she done this time last year when she became Prime Minister, I think she would have won plaudits as sort of an inclusive Prime Minister, and she would then have been in a position of quite a lot of strength going to the Labour Party, which felt very weak and was terrified of an election. And then, in fact, it turns out, did quite well, to its own surprise, as much as anyone else's, did quite well in that election. Had she done this on June the 9th, the day after she got that surprise election drubbing, it would have looked like taking the moment, taking the bull by the horns. And instead, she's sort of waited a month and a bit, and now she's finally sort of appears to be noticing that she doesn't have a majority and she can't get things
Can she relaunch herself, or is she unlaunchable? There's a question.
Can people change? Can people change? So the criticisms of Theresa May have always been she is quite stiff-necked. She sticks to her line. She's not flexible. She's not nimble. Having just spent the weekend with her in Hamburg at the G20, there was very little evidence that she's becoming a sort of a freewheeling, wheeler-dealer sort of politician. She's still very stiff-necked. Even if you ask, you know, sort of quite gentle questions in the hope of getting an answer, she's quite this awful, horrible thing that one of my colleagues wrote about her, that she's the Maybot, a robotic Prime Minister. Once it's been pointed out, it's quite hard to escape from.
But at the G20, to use the US's words, we're working on a very, very big trade deal. And Trump spoke, of course, of this deal being concluded very, very quickly. That has to be a tick in the May margin, or not?
Well, she certainly thinks it is. The thing about trade deals is that the hard part is not agreeing that you want to do them. The hard part is everything between that and then doing a trade deal. Look, I mean, everyone wants a free trade deal with everyone else, more or less. Yeah. And yet, somehow, they seem to take a very long time to happen. So the argument is perhaps it's easier if Britain's doing it without the EU, perhaps, but you could still see a lot of problems just getting the fact that Trump says he wants something to happen, as we can see in American politics, does not in and of itself mean that thing will happen.